Today I'm going to cover the 7 C's of real estate and why they're so important. It's very common for my clients to get stalled or get distracted or things to happen. And when things happen in real estate, we tend to push off everything else. Does that make sense? So I call these 7 C's, and they're the key principles that I teach to get you to the next stage. And once you can do these things, we're going into marketing, and we're going into team building, and we're going into culture. We're going into all different things once these things are covered. So the first is calendar. Everybody knows that your calendar is super important. But what most people don't realize is they time block, they put some things in their calendar, and then they allow distractions. They just allow distractions to happen. And then when those distractions happen, things get bumped, and they're not reprioritizing. There's an old quote, and that quote was, don't prioritize your what's on your schedule, schedule your priorities. So if your priority is to prospect, then you guys need to know that prospecting comes first. If something's important and it bumps it, like a listing appointment, that's fine. Prospecting may need to take the place of something else down the day. So if later in the day we're working on systems and that's a 4 and your prospecting's an 8, systems has to get bumped to tomorrow and maybe it becomes a 5. Does that make sense? So you have to prioritize. When you prioritize, your productivity will skyrocket. It's just that simple. And then you have to schedule breaks. If you don't schedule breaks, you'll get burned out. Schedule days off, schedule 20 minutes here. A lot of people use the Pomodoro Technique where they set a timer for 25 minutes. They stay ultra focused for 25 minutes, and then they allow any distractions to happen. Distractions are a common part of resetting our brain. So if you allow a distraction at the proper time, right? And then get back in, set a timer for 25 minutes again and get going. If you want more information on that, look up the Pomodoro Technique. I think you guys will love that, truly. So the next thing is consistency. So number 1 is calendar. Number 2 is consistency. If you're using your calendar, if you're prioritizing, if you're time blocking, you will become consistent. As you get to consistent, it goes across everything. So you're consistent with your plan. So I've got a plan. This is what I'm doing. I'm winning every day by noon because I'm blocking on my calendar and I'm prioritizing. I'm consistent on my brand. I'm consistent on my performance, and I'm consistent on my customer service. So now all of a sudden, you're making your calls every day that you need to make, or handling return calls on leads. You're doing your systems, you're working on your marketing, you're working on your social and your videos like this, right? And then that consistency will create confidence. And as the confidence goes, your skill set gets better. So confidence goes up, your mindset gets better, your self-awareness gets better, your achievements get better. So we got calendar, consistency. Number 3 is confidence. Number 4 is conversations. Look, this is the key to everything. And I don't care how you guys do your conversations. I don't care if you're sending 10,000 pieces of mail and the phone's ringing. I don't care if you're spending $10,000 a month on Zillow or pay-per-click or whatever and the phone's ringing, or you're doing all outbound, expireds, FSBOs, circle prospecting, absentee owners. It doesn't matter how the conversations are happening, but they have to happen because you can't get to the next level without having a conversation. And the next is consultation. So it takes a conversation to get an appointment, a consultation. And you can't have an appointment without that conversation. So however you're gonna get there, you need to make it happen. So you gotta remember calendar, consistency, right? Confidence, conversations, consultations, and then number 6 is contracts. So if you have enough meetings, enough appointments, enough consultations, now we're gonna have contracts. It's a simple numbers game. And contracts leads to number 7. The most important one, that's commissions. You got to get paid. You have to put food on the plate. You have to support your family. You have to earn a living. And none of this can happen without the other. So think about it. It's impossible for you to get a commission if you don't have a contract. It doesn't exist. It's impossible to get a contract without a consultation. You can't make a contract poof out of the air and nothing, just from nowhere. It's impossible to get a contract without a meeting, without a consultation. And it's impossible to get a meeting without a conversation. Confidence, consistency, calendar. Those are my 7 C's. If you get consistent at those, if you get what I would call a 6 or a 7 out of them, I don't expect you to be a 10, just a 6 or a 7, and get it going, you'll be moving on to the next stage of your business, I promise. I hope this was helpful, you guys. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below. I'm happy to help. Thank you, Patrick Ferry, for forcing me to do more videos. I appreciate you, brother. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.